everyone from the Medellin Podcast. Hello, Andrew. Hello, Joel. I'm here back in Paris in the quarantine. Today is day 11 from the quarantine. And the situation is... It's interesting. I mean, there has been very strong measures here in France, but I think they're absolutely necessary in order to slow down the contagious state of the virus and to control the situation. Italy is really bad, Spain is really bad, and France is bad. So it really needs, government measures in order to control the situation. This is a global thing. Nobody is, safe from this situation. We're in all this together, and we definitely need to take actions together, to be generous with each other, to take responsibility for us and for everybody else. So yeah, basically I think that's it. In terms of my business as a photographer in Paris, well, I got no job. All my clients canceled, and this is going to be very particular time because most of my clients come either from China or the US, being the US market the biggest one. And US right now, it's in a very bad situation. Plus, they haven't taken the measures necessary to control this thing. So it's going to be even longer, for them to recover, which means this wave is going to hit me not only for the next 2 months, but probably for, I don't know, maybe the rest of the year, which is worrying. I think I'm entitled to have some government help, which helps. But somehow, I don't know why, but I always know that things are gonna work out. I don't know why, but I just have this confidence. It always does. Like, every single time I've been through a crisis or something like that, something happens and it just works. Stay safe, respect the quarantine, think that this is not only for you but for everybody else around you. So we have a social responsibility, and we need to be generous and respectful with other people, consuming just what we need, limiting ourselves to go out as much as we can, and trying to be as helpful as we can and understanding as we can in these difficult situations right now. Sorry. We have to understand that we are on this, together, all of us, and everyone right now is going through a rough time. So let's just be compassionate, understanding, responsible, and yeah, do the best that we can. Love you guys. Bye.
What's going on, Medellin Podcast fam? Hope you guys are doing well during these difficult times. Drew Crawford here from episode 14, and I'm still in Medellin, hunkering down here in the apartment. Decided that this is the best place to be at the moment instead of traveling and trying to scramble to get back. We have Rappi here, so you can basically get anything delivered pretty easily. A lot has changed, I guess, since the episode. I can't remember when the episode aired exactly, but it's been a couple months, and obviously the environment has changed around the globe. During the podcast, I mentioned I was doing YouTube ads for online businesses, right? So since then, I've actually basically my largest client cut their marketing spend to zero because one of their products involves heavily social interactions, right? So they're basically freezing things for the time being until they develop a new product that is more that's usable for this type of environment, right? Where we're social distancing, staying at home, video conferencing. So on that front, that obviously sucks. Hopefully I'm going to be closing some new clients here with businesses that are actually booming right now. A lot of online education is where it's at. And actually, I partnered up so this entire situation actually made me think, how can people continue to learn Spanish online, right? So I actually partnered up with Carla, who's actually a previous guest on the show as well, and we launched a completely online Spanish education program. So comes with course content as well as weekly coaching calls via video, via Zoom calls, and then also an online community that you can basically connect and network with other people and get your questions answered 24/7. So we're trying to offer people a way to continue their education, continue practicing Spanish, and become fluent in Spanish, but from the comforts of their home. So we're excited about that. You guys can check that out at fluentes.com. So that's fluentes.com. And then if you guys need any help in terms of like promotion, in terms of YouTube ads or copywriting, you can go ahead and look into viewsintosales.com. So I'm looking for new clients right now. For anyone that is in the process of growing their business, because I like to think there is some optimism here through all this this dark cloud that's hanging over us. I do believe that we're going to get out of this, and we're going to be stronger than ever once we do. So in the meantime, I'm just going to be hanging out here in Medellin. I hope you guys stay healthy and stay productive and find things to do, because otherwise I think we're all going to be bored here pretty soon. But I hope to see you all in person in the coming weeks, months, hopefully sooner rather than later. Cheers.
Hey guys, how are you? So the question is, how's things been going for me with Corona and quarantine? And the truth is, like 2 Mondays ago, I still went to work as usual to Selena, and the place was almost empty. Like just some foreigners, like basically 4 people. And still the government didn't say like the quarantine was mandatory, but people was doing it like consciously. So I decided to switch the few students I had in person to online, because actually the half of my students left the country. So I lost half of my students 2 Mondays ago, and I was really worried, to be honest, for that reason. But everything happened really fast and changed that Monday. But somehow I started to find like couple students online too, a part of those that I already had online, and the ones I had in person. So this last week and this week I've been working almost as usual. I'm teaching in average between 5 and 6 students per day. Before it was between 7 and 8 sometimes, but that's been very booked. Anyways, what else can I say? I'm here at home. I hope everyone is doing the same, because we can tell this is serious. I was one of the persons like 3 weeks or a month ago thinking like maybe the media is overreacting, but no, this is real, it's serious. It's interesting actually being here and seeing this, because we don't know what's going to happen, but we still need to keep and be optimists, like we're gonna make it. Like human beings, we're gonna go through this. It's gonna be before and after Corona for sure, and it's good. I feel grateful actually that I'm here in this time. So yeah, wish you the best and see you later, guys. Bye bye.
Hey guys, how you doing? It's Alan Gongora with Langen, Colombia. I wanted to reach out to talk about what's going on my end and what we're seeing in light of this current crisis. So first, a little bit about me. I'm fine. I'm at home practicing social distancing responsibly. Tons of food. This place is a fortress. I'm good. I'm good to go. Second, as you guys know, Langan Colombia does a lot of business in Colombia, and we're really, really busy right now. Let's just say a lot of the things that we would normally do are things that are clearly slowing down. General business activity is slowing down. We're seeing a lot of potential clients stop the process because of concerns about their own pocketbook, their own ability to fund specific projects, that kind of thing. We're also bizarrely seeing a whole lot of activity on the M&A and real estate side. So even as certain people who do particularly brick and mortar businesses and sort of things in the tourism, hospitality industry, those are the hardest hit right now. But there's a lot of other people with money on the sidelines that it looks like they're taking this opportunity to basically invest in the country. One, the dollar is very, very high, and two, they see an opportunity given the downturn. So we're seeing a lot of that. We're also seeing a lot of, sadly, a lot of employment-related law stuff. Essentially, there's a lot of companies are trying to figure out what to do about their workforce, how to hire, particularly how to fire people. And that's just to be expected in a downturn. So a lot of employment stuff. And as I assume you've seen, we've taken the lead in trying to inform the rest of the expat community in Colombia as to how to manage this crisis. There's a whole lot of immigration visa issues that have come to light as a result of the quarantine and other measures that the government has taken. So we've been very, very busy. I have slept maybe 5 hours a day since, I would say, maybe at least last Sunday. So it's been a very, very busy time for us. But at the same time, we're very, I guess, aware that long term, this is definitely going to impact our local economy in Colombia. Anyway, just wanted to give you a quick update. I hope everyone is safe. I hope everyone is practicing social distancing responsibly. That is a key to keeping this thing in control. And everyone, please be safe.
Hey guys, I'm out here in Canada. I had a flight to Panama that was canceled for mid-April. Things here are pretty good compared to other parts of the world. We have a good healthcare system, so I can't complain about that. Usually I work from home for very long hours, pretty much every day, so I can't say I'm as affected as some people. Though I did lose a major client this month because their business has been suffering from this, like many. So obviously that means that I have to be more proactive about marketing, which isn't something I had to do for the last year even, just because clients were fairly easy to come by. So luckily I'm in an industry that is usually remote, so there are jobs out there, contracts, and I'm not as worried as I know some people are. But I think regardless of your industry, you can find work at this point by going online and looking for opportunities and being proactive about it. So every day you can find, let's say, 10 to 20 opportunities and apply to every single one of them. I think that's the hardest part. People tend to look and say, I'm not qualified for it, or it's too difficult, or the application process is too long. But securing the next 3 to 6 months is going to be really important for everybody, because if things get a lot worse, those opportunities might not be there anymore. So I'm not taking that for granted, and I'm kind of getting more clients than I need, because if something falls through, I can go back to another client and say, I have an opening, do you have anything you need done? So that's the one thing I'd say to do, other than not letting yourself slip in terms of exercise. I went to the gym 5 times a week, and with the gym being closed, it's not the same having to lift rice bags and water bottles. But it's just something that we have to do at this point. Luckily, I have some family around as well, so I'm not fully alone. Otherwise, it would be a lot more difficult. I play video games every day for a little bit, stretch, do yoga, listen to music, things like that to pass the time. And for me, like I said, luckily it's not that different day to day than my usual time working from home. I'm just hoping that people that really need work and money at this point find different ways to do that. That's my main concern, because I know that if you have bills, it becomes really difficult. And a lot of people don't know what they're going to do in the next couple months. So things are really scary. Reach out to friends and family. If you know me, certainly reach out to me, and we'll make it through this thing together.
Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Franco. I'm Andrew's younger brother. I was on the Medellin Podcast, episode 27, with Joel's younger brother, Josh. So this is a little coronavirus update of how I've been affected. I don't live in Medellin. I live in Envigado, which is a small town next to Medellin, connected by the metro. I live here with my girlfriend, Cindy. We ourselves have been in quarantine for 2 weeks on our own, voluntary. We've noticed the situation about a month ago, actually, that it was getting worse and worse. So we took it upon ourselves to stay inside and not go outside at all. But officially, with as Colombia, the country, it's been quarantined for 2 days now. But yeah, we haven't gone out at all, even to go grocery shopping. We just use the application Rappi. We order our groceries through there, or lunch through there. Here in our building, we have a portero, a security guard, I guess, a doorman. And whenever we order through the application, we actually have to go downstairs and pick up the order because the Rappi delivery man can't come inside the building for, safety precautions, I guess. So that's something. That was something interesting, actually, to me, that they wouldn't allow the Rappi guy to come in and go on the elevator and everything because they want to be, extra safe. Also, here in Envigado, we have what's called the Pico and Cedula. I don't know if they have that in Medellin or anywhere else in Colombia. I haven't really heard anything on the news about it, but here in Envigado, Pico and Cedula, what it is if you want to go shopping, you have to go on a specific day according to the last digit of your cedula, your ID. So my ID number, it ends on number 1, and I can only go out on Mondays and Thursdays if I want to go to the Éxito or the Corulla to go shopping for groceries, or if I want to go to the pharmacy, I can only go out on those days. And if I'm caught going out any other day, then there's a fine for it, and I believe possible jail time. But yeah, so that's what's been going on. The neighborhood itself, here where I live, they're taking it serious. Not a lot of movement outside. Every day at 8 p.m. at night, my neighbors go out to the window and start clapping, cheering, singing for everyone in the medical field that's fighting against this coronavirus, and anyone that's helping the deliveries and all the shops that are open during this time. Work-wise, I'm thankful to work online. I work with Andrew and Joel, and we've been thankful that our clients are still operating in the U.S., so there's no problem there. One other way that's affected me is I haven't been able to get a haircut in about 2 weeks now, so my hair's kind of getting long, so I can't wait to get that once all of this is over. The gym as well, haven't gone outside to the gym, obviously, because it's been closed. So I've just been working out at home, doing push-ups and sit-ups and small other exercises. But yeah, that's what has been going on. We're in quarantine for another couple more days. Actually, like 2 weeks, another 17 days. The last day will be April 13th, which happens to be on my birthday. So, hopefully the next day after that, we can go out and maybe celebrate a little bit once the situation is all done. But yeah, that's kind of what's been going on here for, on my end, how it's affected me. And after work, usually my routine is just work, and then I will watch Netflix, but Netflix has kind of gotten bored, so I started taking some online courses, started reading or listening to some audiobooks, trying to learn some new skills. But yeah, taking advantage of this time that I have, extra time that I have to better myself and come out better in this situation. But yeah, hopefully everyone stays safe, and make sure to wash your hands, wear the mask, wear the gloves, and stay safe. Peace.
Hey guys, this is Jose from Metropol. So I was in episode 26, I believe. Metropol is a bar. We sell craft beer, so we have been impacted really hard. Actually, we have 2 bars and we had to close them down. For the last few weeks, what I'm doing, I shaved my beard, I got a haircut and everything, and I've been trying to figure out what to do with the business, trying to look for alternatives on how to make it work. So our income became zero in the last few weeks. Already March was very slow because of the virus and all the rumors and everything coming in. And then everything came to zero. So we are delivering beers at the moment. So that's the only source of income that we have. And I'm spending my time trying to figure out ways to overcome this once everything is done. So do not despair. Things are gonna get better. I think, this is happening, this is shitty, but I think it's a wake-up call for the world, the way we behave, the way we see things, and the way we interact with nature and everything. So even though it's shitty for my business and for many businesses, I think the outcome is gonna be good. So be cool, order some beer, and enjoy life.
Hey guys, Kyle Ellerbrock here, coming in actually from Guadalajara, Mexico, and wanted to make this quick video to kind of share what's kind of going on here in Mexico with the coronavirus and everything kind of going on. So as most of you know, around the world, I think there's been a lot of shutdowns, things have been going on, a lot of people taking preventative measures, which I think is great. And actually Mexico has actually been on the opposite side of this, which is they've been a little laissez-faire about things, about from the government down, from the president down, that it's not as big of a deal as it is. So we haven't seen as much of the lockdown as like you guys have in Colombia, or the quarantines and stuff like that. It's actually just starting to kick in, which is a little bit scary, because even as of yesterday, I think there were 111 new cases in Mexico, and 2 new deaths. So other than that, I'm very much safe here in Guadalajara. I got a little baby boy, obviously a little worried about that, and my lady Angie, and we're pretty much safe and bunkered up here. And kind of going along with regular routines. And I think my big thing that I want to share on top of everything, just letting people know I'm safe, letting kind of people knowing that everything is tightening up here in Mexico, but it's been kind of, like I used before, laissez-faire, so it hasn't been as like a serious, and quarantines and stuff like that. But I think it's getting more and more serious, so I expect those things to be coming down the line here shortly. I just want everyone to know that, hey, at the end of the day, life will go on. We will get through this. There's 2 ways to really look at this, and you can let the despair and the fear and everything kind of hold you back. And this isn't any, sort of thing to take away from people that are actually getting sick from these things. But there's also a lot of opportunity to be made here. I know a lot of people seeing this will want to say, hey, there's things that I want to create. There's things that I still want to do. There's things that I would love to do, but I haven't had the time. And, right now when you're in quarantine, you can either look at those things as, hey, like, I'm just going to let the despair and get on social media and the fear and all this stuff stop me from doing all those things, or I'm going to create, I'm going to make things happen, just like the guys over at Medellin Podcast are doing with this video and this share. So, guys, I'm sending nothing but love and healthy vibes, and, know that we will get out of this at the end of the day. We will get through this, and we will move past this. And I'm looking forward to Mexico taking tighter restrictions on things and taking this more seriously as they are. But for the most part, we're safe and happy and healthy. All right, guys, have a good day, and I'll talk to you more soon.
What's up, fellas? How we doing? What's up, Andrew? What's up, Joel? What's up, Juan? How y'all doing? How is it? I hope y'all are safe. I hope y'all are doing good. I'm Sammy. I was on episode of Medellin Podcast of episode 22. Thank you, Medellin Podcast, for having me. Truly blessed. Medellin Podcast viewers and listeners, man. I just want to give my little insight or my little, how I am affected by this situation. Currently, I am unemployed. I work for tourism, so I will be unemployed, I would say, until there's a vaccine. Why? Because if I want to travel, I don't want to travel to a spot where they was affected. Like, that's kind of big. Also, in my particular situation, there is 2 people that I don't know them, but they're infected where I live. Basically, let's say a 2-3 kilometer radius of where my house is located. That is deep. Why? Because this virus comes from Wuhan, China. That is super, that's from the other side of the puddle. That shit is far. That shit is not. That's too far away. That's like that. All right, you get my point. But this COVID-19, man, is already in my block, and I'm not leaving my house for shit like that. All right, and also, my current situation, man, is I'm unemployed. I work in traveling, basically in tourism here in the city of Medellin. And we're basically stopped right now. We can't do anything, man, until we get green light, until we get approval from government and from our own clients to go travel, because it's a long process. That is the problem. It's a long process. Shit happens. We just need to know how to handle it, and we need to handle it quick and fast and efficient. So that is that's something very important to point out. And man, well, what can you do, man? In the city of Medellin, we're already taking our precautions. Some of the people are kind of scared. Like, they're kind of like, really, we got to be at our house. Like, people want to go out. People are not capable of there's a lot of things, man. Like, people don't want to go out because of the fear. People have to go out because they don't have money, and so they need to work for that money. It's things like that. So it's what can you do, man? Just be at home. Take your precautions. If you're gonna go out because of a grocery run or anything, please use your mask and use some gloves. That's what I would say. Just wanted to give my little insight to the Medellin Podcast, because y'all know how it is. Keep it 100. Sammy Sambuco from Boston, Boston, Massachusetts. Love you all. Peace.
Hey guys, it's Ricardo from episode 7 of the Medellin Podcast. Well, obviously, because of coronavirus, we are closed. We can't attend to any patients. We have expenses running, so we are talking to the companies and the owners of the things that we rent to try to make them cut half for the next couple months, so that we can actually pay our employees, because we got 9 employees. We're trying to think outside of the box, but we're in isolation, and the best thing you can do is be patient. Obviously, it takes a big toll on the economy, because our season, let's say, starts on May, and in May this is not going to be recovered. It's going to go to June or July. So I've been thinking about doing consultations online, but I don't think that's a good idea somehow. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm too scared to try them. there's a bunch of things going on. We're getting all the pieces of the puzzle ready so we can take action from Monday. It's a long week that we took to think about things, but I think patience is the hardest muscle to train. I hope you have a great day. I hope you're doing fine. I hope everything and everyone in your families is okay, and please be safe. Okay, so from Medellin, have a beautiful day.
Hey guys, how are you? I'm Sofia Uran. I was in Medellin Podcast in the episode 16, and now I want to share you my experience living this situation in the quarantine, the coronavirus, and all that stuff. Well, in the beginning, we continued like partying and doing the things we normally do here. But before the quarantine, for example, I could hang out with my friends and my mom. We went out, but in the bar where we were, they said we cannot say hi, hugging or kissing the people in the cheek, because it was just starting to appear the cases here in Colombia, not in Medellin, in the capital, Bogota. So we weren't too scared about it, but then when appeared the first case in different places of Colombia is when we started the quarantine. It haven't been hard, because normally every night you can hear here in Medellin, for example, you can hear an helicopter saying information about we cannot go out, about if we go out without a reason, we are going to have a punish. For example, we have a new law in a decree. In the decree is saying that pico y cédula. That means, like for example, in the cars, that depends the last number of the car, and they cannot go out or have a punish. It's the same, but with the ID. We can go out, but for example, if my phone finishes, if my ID finishes in 8, but 8 cannot go out, I cannot go out if I don't want to have a punishment. So it's going to be controlled like that. It's still in process, because it's a lot of rules, new rules we have already. But that said, actually I see it as something good, because it's part of reflection. This is when we don't care about the appearance, we don't care about the fancy things or what the people say. I bet that most of the people, or I think everybody, is like this, looking like a homeless. The clothes doesn't match. Everything is pretty nice, and to get closer and have a better relationship with family members is pretty cool, because that's what's happening with me right now with my sister, my young sister. I'm learning to cook, I'm studying more, I'm having more time to study French, because I want to learn more languages. So it's just about motivation. Don't get desperate just because you cannot go out, guys. Everything is going to be solved. Take care of your health and the people you love, and everything is going to be normal. Thank you so much, and I hope that everything goes perfect since now and in the future, guys. Bye.
Hey guys, it's Henrik. I was on Medellin Podcast, episode 20, back in January. I'm the founder of Decada, Colombia's first and only organic refreshing drink. And Corona has really kicked in for us. Back in the days when I was with you, we were very keen on doing the first export sales in the coming weeks, but everything has stalled right now. We are waiting for the situation to clear up in Europe so the people can make their first orders. Meanwhile, we are selling in the Colombian supermarkets, as you all know, Carulla and Éxito, and those are the only shops that are still open. So what we can do is we are focusing right now on visiting those kind of stores to make sure that They have a lot of decada there. If you want to support us, meanwhile, everybody that is in Colombia right now, please go to Éxito and Carulla and make sure to get your personal supply of decada bottles from there. We are hoping that everything in Colombia stays safe and stays secure and calm the way it has been right now. It's cool. Everybody is really staying at home, and we hope to see good results coming from that. And meanwhile, keep on working, keeping up the good work as you guys do. Shout outs to Joel and to Andrew, to all the crew. See you in a bit, and have a nice day. Ciao.
Hey guys, hola a todos. Tao here from Son de Barril. Joel and Andrew have asked their guests from their podcast if they would send un mensaje de esperanza, a little message of hope, and I'm all about that. So estoy acá en Medellin. I'm still here in Medellin, acá en la área de Calasanz. Obviously, a lot of businesses are, struggling right now. Ours is no exception, but I'm holding on. Fortunately, my SO can work from home still remotely, and our landlord actually was kind enough to give us a break on the rent this month. So I'm holding on. Estoy muy agradecido por las comunidades que tengo aquí en casa. I'm very grateful for all these comforts I have at home, and I have a bed and a roof over my head and clean water and food and Wi-Fi. I'm lucky also not to be alone right now. My girl's here with me. So we're keeping each other relatively sane. I'm eating pancakes every day for breakfast, making her breakfast in bed. I'm doing trying to do what makes us happy. Everyone listening, you just gotta try and enjoy the little things. Enjoy the good things that we have. And enjoy the people in our lives. Todos escuchando, hay que disfrutemos las cosas simples. Y apreciamos las cosas buenas y todos nuestros queridos. For anyone feeling cooped up, try and do some exercise. Video games have helped me a lot. Weed, definitely, edibles help a lot. Shout out to Cosmic Candies. Shout out to Ellie Wonka. Shout out to all my fellow brewers here in Medellin and all over the world. Espero lo mejor para todos mis hermanos cerveceros. Shout out to Andrew and Joel, and you too, Texas Walker, for helping keep us entertained. And Son de Barril has plenty of beer stockpiled, so you guys can order beer from us on Instagram or Facebook. Tenemos un montón de cerveza almacenada y tomamos pedidos por Instagram y Facebook. Mantenerse sanos, stay safe, stay sane, and we'll get through this together, guys.
Hi guys, this is Alejo. I was on episode 24th of the Medellin Podcast. I'm an illustrator, and I also run a small clothing company. We just opened a store like 1 year ago in El Poblado, and we had to close it because of the health situation of the country. So it's really fucked up because it's a really hard time because we still need to pay the rent and an employee. But even though I think that it's like a really hard time, we have to think about people that are passing like through a harder time than us. I'm talking about the people in the streets, people who don't have like literally anything to eat or a house to stay or something like that, so we can help them. And all I'm asking to you is, if you don't have if you don't need to buy a t-shirt from me, don't buy it. Just you can buy stuff for those people, you can buy groceries, you can make donations. My t-shirts can't wait. And yeah, right now I think that we have to be united and help those people in need. For example, I'm doing some stuff with my company, trying to help those people. You can go to my web store. My web store is still online, and we're shipping t-shirts, and I'll be glad to ship my t-shirts to you. But only thing what's like the most important thing right now for our society, for us right now. So in my web store, you're gonna find a donation, a bonus. It's for 10,000 pesos. If you think about it, it's like almost nothing. With that donation, we're gonna buy some groceries from the people in the streets, just to help them. And for each donation that people buys, Belmos, my brand, is gonna make the same donation. So it's just a matter of time. We have to be patient. We have to be united, and I think that if we are in this together, we can get out of this together. So just think about the people who are having like a harder time than you. You just think about them and try to help them. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, take care of yourself. Belmos will be back soon, I hope, and we'll be bringing still the same energy, the same positivism as always, and yeah, we'll be back someday. Have a nice day. Alejo.
Hey everyone, my name is Nate. I was a guest on the Medellin Podcast. Wanted to make a quick video just to talk about some of my thoughts on the coronavirus, my personal experience in quarantine, kind of what I've been up to. So personally, it hasn't affected me too drastically. I've always worked remotely and worked online, so basically the biggest loss has been I'm not able to go to my favorite cafes and places to work, but still work the same, work from home, work from my computer. I've lost 3 or 4 of my biggest clients. They're unfortunately dentists. Dentists in a lot of states in the US have by law been mandated to close for a couple months. So for the time being, probably next 2 to 3 months, I'll probably be without 60 to 70% of my normal income. That's fine. One of the great things about living and working as a digital nomad is you're able to leverage currencies, so I can earn in dollars and live on pesos. That allows me to save a lot of money. I've saved a lot of money over the past, not a lot, but a fair amount over the past couple of years, and I'm able to live off that now and use that savings and take a couple months and just lay low. So what I'm doing with my time, I'm not the best social distancer. I just went on a beach trip with like 6 other good friends to a really small, secluded beach town along the Mexican coast. It was wonderful. I don't go to bars. I don't go to clubs. I'm not meeting in large groups. I'm really trying to limit my contact with others. But I also am trying to be conscientious of not sacrificing the soul in terms of in order to preserve the body. I believe it's important to get out, get sunlight, be active. I still try to go surfing. I still try to go for swims in the ocean. I still try to, remind myself that there's stuff to be living for, not just live in my apartment huddled in a cloud of fear and uncertainty and kind of worry for myself or my family or the world at large. What else? My thoughts on the coronavirus. Who gives a fuck, really, what I think, because I don't know anything. I don't know on a grand scale how this is going to play out. I don't think anyone knows. And I think that's probably the scariest thing and probably the most frustrating thing is we don't really know. We're just living in this like kind of state of purgatory where it's like, well, you can't really live your life 100% and you're not going to see any results from these actions and your social distancing and you're taking the time to not go out because, it's going to be a long play and we're flattening the curve and all of these different things. So I don't know. I respect it. I am not afraid of the coronavirus personally. I am confident in myself, my immune system, and my body's ability to kick this thing's ass, but I'm very afraid of giving it to someone else. I don't live near my family, so that fear is somewhat reduced. Obviously it'd be much more heightened if I was coming in contact with my mom and dad and sisters and nieces and nephews and cousins on a regular basis. But I am conscientious of not wanting to pass it to any of the local people here in Mexico that I live with, not wanting to be the contagion that brings about sadness or disaster or death in someone else's life. So I lay low. I'm leveraging this time. I know that in all difficult times there is an abundance of opportunity. We grow more through difficulty than we ever do through delight. And I'm trying to maximize this time to write, work on a book project that I've been working on, read and really finish 2 to 3 books that I've been wanting to finish reading for a while, meditate, get my mind right, and then catch up with friends and family. I had a great chat with Joelle the other day. I've been FaceTiming and calling with friends back home, which has been really nice. So yeah, that's kind of my coronavirus update. It's lonely. It's an awful time to be single. We'll say that, but you know, making it through. We're all going to make it through. And my one big message to anyone who watches this video is this will pass, as all things pass. As all good things pass, as all bad things pass, this too shall pass. Get yourself in that mindset. Try to keep that end goal in mind and know that, you know, this is going to come to an end. And when it does come to an end, you know, Joelle said this to me the other day on a call. What do you want your life to look like when it's over? Because that day is going to come. Plan for it, prepare for it, and try to use this time as much as possible. It's the most important currency we've got. Having unmitigated, unlimited amounts of free time is not a normal thing. It's something that feels strange to people, and a lot of people might not know how to use or understand, but it's a real gift and it's a real blessing if you look at it and you can make the most of it. So I encourage you to do so. Hope everyone's safe and happy and doing well. And yeah, that's my coronavirus video.
Hello guys, how you doing? I'm Alex from chapter 29. Thank you very much for asking me about my current situation here. Right now I'm in Lima, Peru. I came back from Colombia like 15 days ago, something like that. And the quarantine time here started on March 16th. It's gonna go until April 13th. And well, for the moment, everything has been good. It's been very quiet. People around here is very polite and nobody's going out. Everything is closed. Every single thing. The only things open are the supermarkets and the little store, the little tiendas, so where you can get food, and obviously the drugstores to get medication if you need it, obviously. As far for me, everything is been great. We got ready before it. We went to buy food and everything we needed to stay a while for a long time in the house. So we got ready way before everything started because my boyfriend, he was like, quarantine is gonna start soon, and I was like a little bit skeptical because I was like, no, that is not gonna happen here. I mean, like, are you crazy? But well, he's from Spain and he was seeing how's everything going there. So well, he was worried and I wasn't, but I listened to him and we got ready before everything started. So we're good. We're spending time working mainly. Nothing has changed as far for my job. Everything has been pretty normal. It's just like, it's slowing down a little bit, but I'm working normal as before. My boyfriend too, he's working, he can work from home. So for us, everything is being perfect. Well, it is not that easy to stay in your house for that long. It's almost a month. Probably it's gonna be longer. So yeah, it is not easy, but everybody can do it, you know, like we've been spending our time just, reading, working out, cooking a lot, watching TV, making yoga, boxing. Yeah, we have a lot of stuff to do, to be honest, a lot of stuff. So we are happy and we are not bored. We've been great as far. We have a rooftop where we can go to see the sunset or just to take the sun for a while. So yeah, I mean, this is not easy for a lot of people, but if you stay busy, if you keep your mind ready for it, for what is coming, we don't know what is coming, but we gotta get ready. We gotta get our mentality ready for it because we don't know if this is gonna be longer or if it is gonna finish on April 13th. But that's something that I don't think is gonna happen because this is really serious. The coronavirus is all around the world and it is not something that is gonna finish just from one moment to another. So we're gonna be responsible. We're gonna stay in our house as long as we can. We're gonna go out just for the necessary, just for food, or if we get sick, to go to the pharmacy or something like that, but for anything else. But we are good as far. Thank you very much, guys, for asking about it. I'm great, I'm happy, I'm living my life here in my house, but it doesn't matter, you just gotta be happy. And it doesn't matter the place where you are. So thank you very much. I hope you guys are doing great too. So bye-bye.
Hey everybody, my name's Chris Cajolas. I was recently on the Medellin Podcast with Joel Duncan and Andrew Macia. Shout out to you guys. I work in tourism here in Medellin, and due to the coronavirus, I haven't worked in about 2 weeks, but also due to contamination of the air, I haven't worked now in almost a month. I'm assuming that things are going to get worse here before they get better. So I don't think I'm going to work probably for the next 2 months minimum. I don't see tourism coming back to Medellin full force for probably 6 months. I'm not basing that on a whole lot, but I just look at it and think of all the tourists out there that are stuck in places they're spending their money right now. So I just don't know if they're going to be able to last in South America before they have to go back home. Same thing with tourists that are thinking about leaving their houses. I have no idea if they're not going to be working wherever they are for quite a while. So things are going to get worse here in Medellin for tourism before it gets better. Lucky for me, I have about 80 more cigars, so I'll be able to make it through my quarantine. Everybody, I just hope everybody stays at home, tries not to get sick, and try not to give it to anybody else if you get it. It's not an easy time for anybody. I'm sure there are some places that aren't affected very much. But you got to do your part, in my opinion. Do your part. Stay at home. Only leave the house if you need to. That's it. I'll see you guys later from Medellin. Again, Chris Cajolas, Tejo in Medellin, and I was recently on the Medellin Podcast. If you ever need information about Medellin, write me at Tejo in Medellin, my Facebook page, or tejoinmedellin.com. I'll be happy to answer all questions. And of course, if you need anything else, you can contact the Medellin Podcast. These guys know what they're doing. Peace.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Here we are. This is Vincenzo Villamina, the online tax man. I'm calling from Brazil, Rio de Janeiro, to be honest, and hope everyone's staying safe, staying healthy. Obviously, this is pretty crazy, pretty surreal times, really. Here in Brazil, it's it's almost business as usual a bit. It's a little bit scary from the fact that I don't think people are taking it as serious here as a place like Colombia. The president here, Bolsonaro, certainly isn't taking it serious. He still thinks this is like a flu. So there are restaurants that are closed, takeout only. But every day I see people working in the street. Buses, everything's still kind of running. There are definitely less people, but it's scary that it is like that. But regardless, it is what it is. I'm in solitude. I'm staying safe, self-isolation, because even though I might not be at risk, obviously because of my age, I can still kill somebody if I were to go and get the virus and go out and be out and about. So I want to be concerned about that, and obviously we should all be concerned about that, about hurting somebody else. Other than that, things are good. Listen, it's tax season for us at Online Taxman, so we are working hard on expat tax returns and domestic tax returns. There was an extension of the filing deadline for Americans to July 15th. So everyone out there has an extra 90 days to file. And there's a stimulus package for people so that all single people get $1,200. If you're married filing jointly with another U.S. citizen, it's $2,400. And that's eligible for people that are making $75,000 single or $150,000 married filing jointly. You get another $500 if you have a U.S. citizen kid. And so just an FYI, that's my sort of piece of advice on the tax side. And then, on the investing side, stocks are on sale, so sort of picking that up. But also kind of remain to be seen what will happen. I mean, this could be very dire consequences. So let's hope that it's not as bad and hope things rebound. But from me to everybody else out there, I hope people stay safe, stay healthy, and best of luck to all our friends and family out there. All right, take care.
Sam Miller here, Sam Life Afar from episode 25 with Andrew and Joel. The episode where Andrew did bad things with peanut butter. Everything's all chill here in Medellin. Most people are tucked in, and the essential services are still going. The Colombian government decided to take a more aggressive approach earlier on, and everyone's pretty quickly adapted to sitting at home. The delivery services in Colombia are great and affordable, so it's fairly easy to make that happen. I think it was a good move as opposed to half-assing it and kind of just social distancing for a while and letting it spread. If you're gonna try to stop it, let's shut it down. So they shut down the borders, and everyone's in a national quarantine. I think governments love being needed. I think we're defined by our fears, and I think this is a great example of that. But I think there are a lot of good things that could potentially come from this. Throughout all of the conflicts, global conflicts in human history, there has been incredible innovation in areas that you couldn't predict. Out of the World War II and the Cold War, we've had the internet, GPS, athletic shoes, artificial limbs, all types of innovation come out of it. And in this global conflict and collaboration phase that we're going through, I imagine there's going to be all types of unseen opportunity, unseen potential that we're going to realize by shifting up the way we interact with the people and the world around us. I think biotech has a lot of potential. Biotech, for example, could be an industry that's going to see a lot of innovation, but really it's unknown, and now more than ever is a great time to embrace the unknown. Changing my lifestyle interrupted the great routine that I had going, so I've had to innovate and adapt my own routine and change a lot of the plans that I had. But I think humans are capable of incredible things, and I'm excited to see what comes out of this. I think once this is through, I think we're going to see that this is a good thing. And I think that I think we've never been able to say that something is bad or good in the moment. It always takes time to look back and measure the butterfly effect from whatever happened. So don't be too quick to judge what's happening just yet. Keep an eye out for opportunities. Stay inside for now and make the most of that time and the opportunities that you're being given. Much love to everyone out there. Enjoy and be safe.
Hi, I'm Jacqueline. I'm a freelance writer here in Medellin, and I'm a mom. I'm a mom. That was the theme for my podcast with the Medellin Podcast. So yes, I'm a parent, expat parent here in Medellin, and we are on lockdown with the kids. So it's definitely interesting. It's been crazy. So I'm a writer, so I still have my work. Most of my clients are in the U.S., so I'm doing okay with my work. The big difference is that my husband, who has a retail store here in Medellin, is suddenly out of work because his store's closed for the lockdown, totally closed. So, I mean, that was like half of our income, more than half. So I'm the breadwinner. All of a sudden, I'm the one making all the money. So it's really changed our dynamic in our family, because instead of kind of casually working 6 hours a day and hanging out with the kids and stuff, I'm now working about 10 hours a day, 7 days a week, trying to make up for the income that's not coming in on his side. I mean, he just has no choice. They had to close. So yeah, it's been very, very different. And of course, we have the kids here all the time. Kids never leave. Which is different than summer break, right? Because in summer break, the kids can go to vacaciones recreativas, they can go to summer camp, or they can go with abuela. They can go out and about. No, they're here all the time, and we can't even take them out into the neighborhood for a walk. We can't even go to the park. Lockdown is lockdown. So that's been tough for the kids too. When they want to run and play, and they're stuck. So, and then there's homeschool, because it's not like school's out. We have to do the homeschool. And it's funny because my daughter's, I'm a writer, right? So my daughter's over here like, Mom, what's 7 times 8? And I'm like, I know this. I know this. And she's like, Mom, you told me you memorized your times tables. Oh, I did 20 years ago. And in the division, like long division, like I haven't done that in 15 years. So my daughter's asking me, what do I do with the 2? I carry the 2. What do you do with the 2 that you carry? I'm looking it up on my phone, how to do long division. She said, Mom, you're supposed to know how to do this. I'm like, I'm a writer. I don't divide things. So that hasn't been fun, which I have to admit that I am fortunate in that my husband has been doing most of the homeschooling, because I am working all the time now, and he's not. So he's been doing the homeschooling, thankfully, because I am not good at it. I can teach them to write, but so he's been doing the homeschooling, and we did convince our empleada, our little housekeeper, to lock down with us. So she's here for the lockdown. So we're pretty fortunate that we have our empleada to help with the cooking and cleaning. My husband's been doing the homeschooling. We've been tag teaming the child care, and I've been working 7 days a week, 10 hours a day, trying to make up for the lost income. But there's a lot of people who aren't that fortunate, and especially here in these developing countries like Colombia, the vast majority of the country is working class. So all these people that were selling fruit on the street, or that worked in retail stores or restaurants, the guy with the empanada cart, they're out of work and out of luck and out of an income, a lot of them. And they still have to feed their families, they still have to pay rent. So it's really saddening, when in a place like this where there's real poverty, the implications of this kind of lockdown are tough. So I do have some friends that are handing out food. They're collecting donations, and they're handing out food for families, especially families with kids. They're called restaurantsonmission.org. If anybody wants to donate to them, they're helping out. But it's tough. So I'm really hoping that this very drastic lockdown nips the whole thing in the bud. And so people can go back to work. Because we're fortunate. I have my income, thankfully, and I can still keep working. But a lot of people can't. So I just hope it wraps up soon, and that the world can go back to some semblance of normal pretty soon. It's a lot of people affected by this, and our household is insanity right now, but we're making it. We're gonna make it, and I hope everybody does. So good luck, Medellin. We got this. Bye.
Hello guys, I'm Richard Swan. I was on episode 3 of the Medellin podcast, back when it was a bit more of a piss up. I'm currently in Scotland. I've been here for about a month. The beginning of March, I needed to come back quite abruptly because unfortunately my mum was dying, so I booked a last minute flight and came over here to be with her for the last week or so. And I think it was just around the same time that the coronavirus really arrived in the UK. So I'd say in the last 3 or 4 weeks I've seen like the changes that we've all seen really. One of the notable events was the funeral of my mum, where when we were greeting people at the door we couldn't shake their hand. There were family members I hadn't seen in some time and I couldn't give them a hug. There were obviously couldn't give any kisses on the cheeks, so that was one of the first times that I saw the effects of all this. Beyond that, when things calmed down, I guess I had to come to terms with the fact that I can't return to Medellin because I don't have a residency there and I'm not a Colombian. Even though I have a visa, I don't have the right to enter the country, so my early April flight is just going to be postponed, and I'm not sure when I'll be coming back to see you all. I've told the owner of my apartment that I don't want to continue with it because I didn't want to continue paying rent while I was away. I'm obviously quite far away from my girlfriend. We were basically living together, so we're both trying to adjust to the situation when we don't know when we'll be together again, and just trying to maintain a relationship through video calls and WhatsApp messages like many others. The other impacts, I used to love playing football 3 or 4 times a week, and yeah, all group sports like that are banned in the UK, so I'm kind of noticing the difference of that. Needing to try and get back into yoga, try and do some other things. Luckily, I'm actually in a small village in Scotland, so although we have the limitations of only being allowed out maybe once a day for an hour or so, at least I'm in like roaring countryside, and I can usually meet with a friend sometimes as long as we keep our distances and walk their dog or something. So it's a beautiful place to be in isolation. I've seen on Facebook that some people are in, the islands in Thailand and all other places. It's quite funny where people ended up being quarantined, but I don't think I'm in the worst place, but obviously it's quite hard not knowing how long it's going to be. And like I mentioned, maybe not seeing my girlfriend. Economically, I have a couple of apartments, and unfortunately the tenants of those both decided to leave for various reasons. So now I'm trying to find new tenants, which is very difficult in this market. You've got a huge amount of supply because all the Airbnbs for tourism are vacant. A lot of the rental agents won't do viewings, so there is a huge amount of availability. Also, people are handing in their notice for various reasons, such as universities have closed, so they no longer need to stay here till the summer. Or even economic reasons, people losing their job. My girlfriend in Colombia, she's lost her job. She got told quite abruptly when they realized the malls were going to close that there was just no reason to keep her on, and maybe look to rehire her whenever everything is resolved. So finally, I guess you'd be interested to know in some news I had today. My sister's a doctor, she's a gastroenterologist, and as of today she's actually off work because they believe that she may have the virus. She's been showing symptoms for a couple of days, and although it's maybe a proportion, there was one patient on our ward with the virus, so it seems possible that she has the virus, and so that means she's in her house with her husband and her 3 children. That's basically quarantined there. As her husband, who is also a doctor, has quite an important position, it looks like they will get some tests done maybe early next week. Tests are very limited in the UK right now, so I guess we'll find out the news maybe Monday or Tuesday. But for now, they seem okay. Her symptoms are mild. Hopefully they're not going to be any worse, but that's been quite shocking news. So yeah, the virus isn't just something on the news. I've had some living experience of this in various ways, I guess, as we all have, and just hope you all stay safe, and we're going to get through this. Bye.
Hey guys, how's it going? This is Brent from the Wandering Paisa. See that on the hat. And yeah, I'm just going to answer some questions they wanted to ask me for the Medellin podcast. I'm currently here in Medellin in my apartment by myself. I've been in quarantine for 10 days now. Actually enjoying it. Got some Switch games going on, playing some video games. I haven't played those in a while. Doing some exercise, going through The Sopranos, enjoying that show a lot. And I'm an introvert, so I'm really actually kind of enjoying this. At least taking the time off and kind of, being by myself. But I don't know, let's see some of the questions that they had. So I guess the first one is, how has coronavirus affected the business? Well, the hostel's closed because we don't have any guests, and the borders are closed. So I got a couple people in there, maybe one or two leftover guests, and an employee just kind of staying there keeping the lights on. But in terms of like being operational, we are not at the moment, and that's kind of difficult. And in terms of knowing like the outlook of what's going to happen, really don't have any idea. I don't think anybody knows how this is going to end, whether it's going to have to be a suppression model that goes until we get a vaccine sometime next year, or if somehow all this isolation we're doing at home, social distancing, I really don't know. I mean, I hope that, there's a way that I can keep things going with my business. But, a lot of other hostels have already, kind of closed for good. We've been around a little bit longer, have a little bit of savings to keep it going for a little bit, just paying the bills and everything. But, yeah, no, it's the uncertainty is not great, but I'm sure lots of other people are feeling it. And, I'm just thankful I got a home and I got food and, I got stuff to entertain me, books and stuff, besides the video games. But yeah, I guess that's kind of it. I mean, what has changed really? I mean, granted, it happened so fast. It was basically like we were doing kind of exercises on how to do social distancing within the hostel with guests, and then they closed the borders, and then some of the guests had to quarantine, and all of a sudden it was like, okay, now we're shut, because everybody pretty much left, and no income, no reason to keep it open. I mean, if still people want to come, we still are leaving it open for people if they have reservations they want to make for the hostel. I mean, there's still like a bunch of reservations for the next 2 months. We haven't canceled those. So if somebody shows up, I guess, who's ever in the hostel right now can let them in, but I don't think that's happening. So I guess that's kind of my thoughts on everything. Little 3-minute video there, but hope everybody's doing great. Have a good one.
Hello everyone, this is Ioana from Romania. I have been living in Medellin for the past 6 years, and I have also been on the Medellin Podcast episode 9, which was really fun. Thank you guys for that. In my opinion, what's going on right now in Medellin and in Colombia in general, it's pretty much as scary as it can get in a lot of other parts of the world. Our medical system is not ready for this. I don't think any medical system is ready for this. I have a lot of friends and family all over Europe, especially in Spain and Italy. And, I think about them every day. I talk with them every day, and that's a combination of a lot of, anxiety, hope, prayers, and all that. I think that at this point where we are right now, the situation is pretty much in our hands as citizens, as human beings, whatever we are. Just, practice social distancing, stay in, respect your life, respect the life of others around you, respect the doctors and the medical staff because they are doing wonders, and I'm thankful for that. It's pretty much all the markets are very much affected. There's been a lot of layoffs. There's a lot of companies suffering. But I've never, to be honest, I've never seen Colombians, especially paisas, like right here in the region of Antioquia, so united. To end this on a positive note.
Hi everyone, my name's Shiv.
I was on episode 8 of the Medellin Podcast. I was talking about living in Medellin and owning a hostel in Medellin. So right now my current situation is that I'm in London. I flew back 5 days ago after due consideration. It was a tough choice, to be honest, because it is pretty dire here. It's a worse situation than Colombia, but I thought it'd be better to be with family. In fact, even our Prime Minister Boris Johnson announced today that he has been diagnosed with coronavirus. I also decided to leave Colombia because the whole country is under quarantine and we had to close the hostel last week, unfortunately. There's no tourism in the country and many of our businesses are on life support, and we're going to go through a tough time. We still have our fixed costs to pay, our salaries, our rent, and we can't get out of these at the moment. But more importantly, my heart really bleeds right now for the people of Colombia. They're going to be going through some intolerable pain and suffering at the moment with what's going on. So we have to get through this all together with everything that we can do. Small acts of kindness go a long way. We can't implement the kind of measures that the UK government has done, for example, nor do we have in Colombia the kind of healthcare that other countries have. So it'll be very difficult to cope. No country can cope, but we're severely ill-equipped. However, I do know that we can beat the virus, and hopeful for good news from the government too soon for people and for businesses. The measures put in place so far are pretty strong, much stronger than the UK or the US, for example, and in the circumstances we're not doing too badly. The economy is going to suffer, for sure it's going to suffer, but we can bounce back. We don't know how long it will take to recover. There'll be a lot of pain along the way, but we can come back stronger and better for it. Right now I'm just in my garden in London. It looks like it's warm, but it's actually pretty cold. I think that I'm going to be in quarantine for another 10 days because I came off a flight obviously on Sunday. I'm just doing the usual things that most people are probably doing. I'm continuing with some online stuff. I'm doing a course, reading some books, reading the news probably too much every day, watching Netflix and just generally keeping up with latest events. So right now it's time to do some exercise. I hope everyone can stay in shape and keep exercising. I think for me it's either going to go one of two ways. I'm either going to get really overweight or stay in shape. There's no middle ground. I know I said in the podcast as well I might leave Colombia, but I think that will have to change now. I think we'll have to get this through this together, and as soon as it's possible to come back, I will come back, whether it's in 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. As soon as it's safe and we're improving, then I will definitely be on the first flight back. Hope everyone take care, stay safe, and God bless.
Hello, I'm Nick Bowman. I'm a DJ and music producer from England. I currently live in Santa Elena. Okay, so yeah, let's talk about coronavirus. I started looking into COVID-19 coronavirus probably 2 or 3 months ago, maybe a little bit more, when it was first sort of breaking out in China. Wasn't being reported so much in the media in the UK and Colombia. But I took an interest in it. I was concerned about it, very concerned about it, about the effect it was going to have on the world, about the deaths it was going to cause, watching all these people drop like flies in China. With time, I have become more and more skeptical about it. When all these celebrities, these politicians, these sportsmen, these actors started getting coronavirus, it just didn't add up to me. And I was watching some of the videos, and a lot of the time I just reading between the lines, using my intuition, they just didn't seem genuine. A lot of them just seemed like they were lying. You know, maybe that's my suspicious mind, who knows? But what do you think? Why are all these politicians, sportsmen, celebrities, actors, why are they all getting sick? Okay, straight off the bat, anybody who's suffered from coronavirus, anybody who's listening who has friends or family, things like that, who's been affected or who's died, I'm really, really sorry if that is happening. However, I think we all need to start questioning what is going on here. What is really going on? in mid-October, I think it was, mid to late October, there was an event called Event 201. This was like a simulation of a coronavirus, and it was sponsored by Bill and Melinda Gates, John Hopkins, what else? Bloomberg, a lot of the usual people who are involved in like pro-vaccination, things like that. They had this event, I believe it was in New York, and they talked about, you know, how would they react to an outbreak, a pandemic around the world. They were talking about, you know, controlling the media, controlling social media. They were talking about 65 million people dying from this coronavirus. And this was like just before it broke out. It was also on this exactly the same date that they had the World Military Olympics in Wuhan, China. Okay, so let's talk again a little bit about Wuhan. So yeah, Wuhan was where it all started. And Wuhan was also the place where they rolled out 5G in its maximum potency around the world. From what I understand, Wuhan had more 5G than anywhere else in the world, and they turned on 5G around exactly the same time that the coronavirus, hit the population of Wuhan, and you saw all these people dropping like flies like that. Again, I'm not saying 100% this is because of 5G, but you know, we need to start looking at the dangers of things like 5G and start questioning more about what is going on here. Why is 5G being introduced around the world without people's permission when thousands of scientists and doctors around the world are saying it's dangerous? Why did the UK government on March the 19th downgrade coronavirus, and why was it not reported in the media? What's going on here? Why do flu vaccines, when people are given flu vaccines, why do the deaths from flu vaccines shoot up around the world after the flu vaccine has been given? I don't believe the flu vaccine is any great help to the flu. Do you think that a coronavirus vaccine is going to be good for you? I don't want to take a coronavirus vaccine. I don't think it's going to be any good. Be careful, be aware of governments around the world, the possibility of mandatory vaccines being brought in. Is that going to be good for you? Is it going to, pump you full of crap that you don't need in your body, possibly resulting in a premature death for you? I'll be doing everything I can to avoid any vaccines at all.
Hola, I am Violeta Bernal from Social Spanish. I am in Medellin. We have a lockdown. I live in Poblado area. These days have been kind of quiet since most people are staying at home. They are responsible. It's quiet. I love silence, so this is something positive about the coronavirus. About me, fortunately I didn't get affected by this situation. The only thing is that my plans just speed up, because I already had the idea of moving from offline lessons to my book, because I wrote a book, so that's my project of this year. My book and online lessons and other stuff that I can tell you right now. But you can know if you follow me on Instagram, Facebook and YouTube. Also next week, free lessons or material is coming. Also, if you want to study because you don't want to just watch Netflix or look at memes, then just text me and we have a online lesson, just as I am doing right now with my actual students or with ex-students, friends of students. It's just kind of the same but online. What else can I tell you? Practically, it's just about the book this year. I know it's going to be something very useful for those who might get affected by the recession that is coming, since my book is is for students or people who want to learn Spanish by themselves. So in case you just can afford private lessons or even in a school, this is going to be perfect for you, because it's just written in a way that you can do it by yourself. I'm talking to you in the book. It's like you will feel that I'm here, there in the book. So that's it. I'm just so happy that despite this situation, I can keep doing what I love the most, which is teaching Spanish. And actually today is my anniversary. I celebrate anniversary. It's like something very important for me. Every year on this date, like today, March 27th, that was my first class 8 years ago, the date of my first class. So I just celebrate that Spanish came to my life, because honestly, Spanish just saved my life. I love teaching Spanish. I won't change what I do, just the way I do it. Even if coronavirus is here, I'm just so happy that I can keep teaching, because I love it, and that's it. Okay, so remember, follow me, and I wish you all the best. I hope you can do great in whatever you want to do or you are doing, and that's it. Un abrazo, ciao.
Hi, my name is Michael Hernandez. I was on the Medellin Podcast, episode 6, and I wanted to tell you guys a bit about the situation here in Medellin with the coronavirus. So, the first 4 days of quarantine, which actually started on Friday, so we're on the 27th, and it's Friday, so literally last week, I was actually not in Medellin. I went up to Santa Elena, took an old dirt road I know of, and I stayed out there pretty much in the middle of nowhere in a nice little log cabin. Everything was normal out there. They had quarantine rules, but you could go out and walk around. If you've been here and you know Medellin, you know Santa Elena is in El Parque Arví, which is this big pine tree forest, so I got to walk around, chill those 4 days. It was easy to get toilet paper, eggs, everything. Which toilet paper and eggs have been the hardest thing to get here in Medellin, in my opinion. I live in the north, near the metro station Caribe. So I think in the north the situation is a little different than it is in the south, like near Poblado and Laureles and Envigado. So when I wrote down on Tuesday, which was the last day they gave us to actually come back to the city, it was a little worrying. I drove down through this dirt road that's a little above Santo Domingo, which is one of the low-income barrios, and there were people everywhere. There were people in the metro stations. I passed by Manrique, I passed by Caribe, which is the northern terminal, and a lot of metro stations, and everything was packed. People seemed like they were going about their normal day. I don't know if it was some misinformation that day or what, but yeah. It was after I got here on Tuesday. It took us 2 days, so yesterday on Thursday we were able to get some eggs and some toilet paper delivered to the house. But yeah, I went down. I live in a closed community in Robledo, so I went down to get a delivery earlier today, and I noticed, like, for example, the delivery guy had no gloves on, he had no face mask on. I still saw people standing on the corners. I've had some friends send me some videos for some barrios, and it looks like life is going on pretty normal in these barrios. Not sure how it is in the south, but around here it seems like seems like a lot of people aren't taking this as seriously as they should. So, I don't know, maybe this is a great opportunity to take a moment and tell you guys, to be safe. Take this stuff serious, man.
Hi everyone, my name is Sam. I'm with Out in Colombia Travel. I'm the owner and founder. So Joelle and Andrew asked me to shoot a quick video with a message about how the coronavirus has impacted us since we had the interview a few weeks ago. The impact it's had on my business, and hopefully this is a message that could be helpful to others who are looking for ways to survive during this crisis. So as you can imagine, being a tourism business, the virus has been very devastating. Nobody's traveling. All of our clients canceled their trips, and anybody who we had in the pipeline decided not to travel. And all that makes sense right now. And we just don't know how long that's going to last. If that's going to be short term, long term, medium term, we don't know. Is it going to be 3 months, 2 months, 6 months, a year, more? Who knows? We can't predict that right now, so we just have to figure out what to do to survive. So one of the first things we're doing right now is keeping an eye out for any sort of aid or loans that can support small businesses during this time of crisis. And so whether that comes from the governments or organizations or businesses like Facebook. I saw Facebook is going to start offering grants to small businesses to help us sort of survive. So I'm going to check out all those opportunities. But even if aid is available, it's only going to be available for the short term, right? And so we're not going to really be able to depend on that, particularly if people take a long time to start traveling again. So what are we doing? Well, right now, as a team, we are focusing inward. We're updating our processes. We're doing things that we've been wanting to do in order to make sure that we are successful when people are ready to start buying again. We want to make sure our processes are more efficient and the overall experience is better for our customers when they want to book a trip. And so that's what we're focusing on right now. And we're also focusing on marketing. What is our plan going to look like? So that we're ready to communicate with people at the earliest point when they are ready to start traveling again, when they're looking to buy and we're looking for an escape. We want to be ready to communicate with them and offer them something. I'm also encouraging my team to be entrepreneurial. I mean, we always want to be entrepreneurial and innovative, but especially now in a time of crisis, I think it's really important. So I'm asking the team, do we need to reinvent ourselves? If so, what does that look like? How do we need to reinvent ourselves? What do we need to do to adapt in order to meet needs of people right now? And so we're exploring different options. And I think those are important questions that every small business owner or every entrepreneur should be thinking all the time, but especially right now. So I hope that information is very helpful. It's helpful in some way to some people. I have a lot more to say, but I got to keep it short so you can hear from other people and get other ideas. Please check us out at Out in Colombia Travel. If you have questions, shoot me a message. You can visit outincolumbiatravel.com. Visit us on Facebook at Out in Colombia Travel or Instagram as well. It's at Out in Colombia, or look us up as Out in Colombia Travel. Anyway, I look forward to us getting over this crisis together. I know we will survive as a community at large, and I wish you the very best.
Hey guys, it's Andrew Messia from the Medellin Podcast. Just giving you an update on the whole quarantine situation here in Medellin. We've been quarantined for more than a week officially by the government, by the city, and for me, it hasn't been that big of a difference as far as my daily routine at home. I've been working a lot from home. I got my desk set up here. I got TV, so I've been watching the news a lot. I got the Fire Stick with the Kodi. So I'm able to keep up with the news from the U.S. and the news here. So a lot of information, a lot of doom and gloom out there, but I remain hopeful. I think Colombia as a whole has been responding to the whole outbreak in a correct manner. At least the president has acknowledged that it is a serious thing and has shut down the whole country. No planes can come in, no planes can go out. Domestic flights are very difficult to attain. I don't think you can even do that as a matter of fact. I don't know why you would, unless if you're going to go see family. But I know there were times when people were trying to leave the city. For example, last Tuesday, where the curfew was lifted to like 12 a.m. on Tuesday. So people went literally that day, went to the bus stations and went to the tried to leave the city, and they were stopped. The buses weren't taking them out, so people had to go back home. So I think the city is doing it right, at least Medellin is, and the country, it seems, as a whole. As far as what the future holds, well, I think a lot of things are going to change. For example, telecommuting. Telemedicine is gonna boom. I think a lot of people are going to realize that especially bosses, people that are high positions, are going to realize that their employees are actually better when you give them a task or responsibilities and let them manage their own time. I think Google has been preaching this for years, and it's funny because last night we had a little group chat with some of our friends, and somebody commented on Facebook that before social media and all this technology was dividing us and was separating us, and was putting basically no face to your opinions. You can basically go online and say whatever the fuck you want, and be anonymous. Now technology is bringing us together. It's actually making us work better. It's making us communicate better. It's forcing us to communicate through technology, where I used to only call my mom maybe once a month. Now I'm talking to both my parents on video chat once a week, because I'm literally sitting here in front of the computer all day. So I hope you guys are safe. Hit us up on the Medellin Podcast if you want to join us on a group call, or if you're just bored and you just want to watch and binge watch our videos and comment. We're always on there. Thank you. Have a good one.
Hey everyone, how's it going? Joel from the Medellin Podcast. Just wanted to say a quick hello to everybody that watches and supports. This video is not about me. It's about the people who really make this podcast, the guests that come on and share their life, share their experiences, their business, and so forth. But either way, I've been now at home without leaving the front door for 9 days straight. And the week prior to that, I was also more or less on a self-quarantine, trying to do my part to slow this virus down. Business has been hit. Our company, we do marketing, content generation, and SEO, and it has been hit in a big way. We lost one of our biggest clients earlier this week, but we have been pivoting. We've been adjusting. As a matter of fact, ironically, we've been working more in the last 2 weeks than we've been working prior to that. It's been like, lit a flame on our asses to get moving, because we never would want to be in this situation again. And I think my advice to everyone, regardless of if you're in the US or here in Medellin, is that to know that the world is not coming to an end. For most of us, there's no bailout. There's no $2 trillion bailout that's coming to save us. We have to save ourselves. So the thing is for us to think really long and hard about how do we, when this finishes in a month or 2 or 3 or whatever it is, how do we come out better than we went in? Do we learn a new skill? Have we always said, oh, if I could only get certified in this thing that takes 2 weeks, I would do it? Well, now you got the time. We've been a lot more active talking to our clients, talking to new clients, outreaching to new clients, and trying to develop new skills. Here, I'm not leaving the house, so for fun, I draw. I'm trying to learn to draw digitally on the iPad on a program Procreate. I'm cooking a lot more, taking a lot more time to make tastier dishes and healthier dishes, working out here at home, which is also another challenge because I'm accustomed to going to the gym. But I think the biggest thing for everyone is, at the end of the day, yes, keep yourself entertained, keep yourself happy, call folks when you've got to call them. But listen, stay creative. Keep creative. Like this video you're watching right now is part of our creative process. It's how do we collaborate with people and create something to show the world. And this is just one little project that we're doing, and you can do your own. We're here. One of the biggest things is for no man's really a rock, for you to reach out to folks in your network for advice, for help about how you can come out on top of this virus. How can you be better at your business personally or whatever else once you get out of this. I got to run right now to get on a Zoom meetup, a happy hour. But everyone take care and enjoy the video.